Get ready to find your passion. Get ready to find your life. Ed Carcari's passion is to help others start a fire in their souls. Ed has owned and operated many successful businesses, been nationally recognized and recommended for his sales training and motivational speaking. And now he's here to guide you into finding your passion. Here's Ed Carcari.
Today, let's talk about the worst advice I've ever received. I was 17 years old. I had just enlisted into the Air Force, and my recruiter's sitting with me trying to prepare me for boot camp. And he said this: whatever you do, don't volunteer for anything. Don't even make eye contact with these guys. And I thought, as a 17-year-old, that is some sound advice. That is wisdom. Why volunteer? Why risk? Why take the chance to be embarrassed, to fail, to become frustrated? Why not just be a wallflower? Be invisible, stand back, let other people take those chances. Don't do anything that could rock the boat or create any kind of waves. That was my thinking. I thought, this guy is brilliant. Thank you for helping me. Well, I get to boot camp. First night, we get off the bus and we meet our drill instructors. If you've never met a drill instructor, they are a different animal. I will never share with you the things that they said because the FCC will find me. The words that they use, they are so creative on how they can use foul language and what they can do to you. There's 80 of us. We're standing at attention, or what is supposed to be attention for 17, 18 through 24-year-olds in this group. And the drill instructors, they pounce on this guy. And they are screaming at his face. There's 3 of them. They surround him. They're screaming at him. I know what they're doing. They're looking for a volunteer. And secretly, I'm standing there, and I'm down the road from him, about 3 or 4 guys. And on the inside, I'm going, oh, thank God they found somebody else. The sharks are over there. I'm safe where I'm at. Well, they keep screaming at him one question over and over and over. Are you a man or are you a woman? Now, they didn't use those words. I've sanitized that. For your benefit, please trust me. This is your benefit. He didn't say anything. He never answered the question. And they stopped messing with him after a while, and they came to me. Now, out of 80 men, what are the odds that they could have picked me? But they did. So there's 3 of them. And drill instructors, if you've ever seen them, they have these wide brim hats that are really hard. Well, they get up close enough to you that those brims, they're hitting your head. And they're screaming right in your face. Spit is flying on you. And every time they're screaming, the brim of that hat is poking you in the head. And picture that, 3 of them stand around me, and they're all yelling the same thing. Are you a man or are you a woman? In their language. Well, unfortunately, I know deep down what I'm supposed to do. Take the advice of my recruiter, the horrible advice, which I think is good. Don't volunteer for anything. I couldn't do it. I have a big mouth, and sometimes I don't have filters. My wife will tell you I never have filters. Be that as it may, I couldn't help myself. It just popped out of my face. I screamed at them, I'm a man. Well, from that day forward, I became what they call the dorm chief. Now, what that meant is I am responsible for those 80 men. Anytime they messed up, I was the one that got yelled at. So for 8 weeks, I got pulled out on the carpet every single day, more times than I can count, where I was yelled at for somebody else messing up on our flight. This was a crash course in leadership, responsibility, and accountability in leading men. And I got to tell you, I was terrified for every day for 8 weeks. But it was one of the greatest experiences I ever had. Now, what would have happened if I didn't follow that advice? What would have happened if I followed the advice that my recruiter had given me, which says don't volunteer? I would have missed out on such an opportunity. It didn't look like an opportunity at the time, but it was. So here's my advice for you, which is great advice that I've learned over the years. Volunteer for that which scares you. Put yourself out there. Take a risk. Get out of your comfort zone. Put the binky and the blanket down. Get out of the fetal position and say yes to stuff that scares you. Get out there and try. Yes, you're going to be frustrated. Yes, you're going to fail. And yes, you're going to be embarrassed at times. But that's where the magic happens. That's where growth happens. That's where development happens. You've got to get out of the boat and try to walk on water. My name is Ed Carcari, and I'm here today hoping to find you out there volunteering in your community, doing something that sets your soul on fire. Love to connect with you. You can find me at edcarcari.com. Find your passion, find your life.